So I was talking to Rochelle over at Amethyst Ascension Tarot, and she was doing a story time. So today we're going to do a fun video response to Rochelle, and we're going to do our own story time. It's going to be called a tarot adventure, and we're going to follow the guidelines that Rochelle laid out, and we're going to pull my own cards and see what we get. I'm using the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle and the Magician's, Martyrs, and Madmen Tarot. Underneath this video, I will put a link to the decks I'm using in case you would like to purchase them. And if you want to pull out your own cards, you can go along with me and create your own story. This is a really fun way to write a story and a fun way to learn your cards if you're a beginner or if you just want to practice at any stage. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm so excited. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anyone and everyone who might like it too. Please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you want to get your own reading done, please email me or hit me up on social media. All of my information will be underneath this video. So let's get started. I'm going to read and pull the cards as we go along. All right, let's see. You get invited to a weekend event at this beautiful yet very mysterious mansion that sits outside of town in a remote but gated area. It has sat vacant and overgrown for as long as you can remember. The invitation you receive is for you and one guest. Now, this is the part in the movie where I'm saying, don't go. Okay? So if this was real life, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I would not go. Straight up. The vacant, overgrown, and me and a guest, this sounds like a setup. But for the purposes of doing this exercise, I am going to go and I'm going to see who is going to be my guest. My guest is Bridget Bishop. Now, many of you probably already know, if you've read about the Salem witch trials, Bridget was one of the women who was executed for the crime of witchcraft. As a matter of fact, it says here that Bridget was the first person to be executed. Bridget was accused, and then many people were accused after that. Now, Bridget's response was, I am innocent. I know nothing of it. I have done no witchcraft. It is believed that all of the people who were killed during the Salem witch trials were innocent. It was all a political thing, a land grab, fueled by hysteria, of being in a new place, being in the Americas and the wilderness and all that kind of stuff. So Bridget is my companion. Now, the Ten of Swords tells me Bridget is probably still very sad. If I was hung, I'd still be very sad too. So I'm going to try to cheer Bridget up on this trip. You travel to the location, and upon arrival, the gate just automatically opens for you. Red flag after red flag. You proceed into the front parking area where a middle-aged butler is waiting for you, with staff to grab your luggage and show you to your rooms. As you enter the mansion, you are completely overtaken by how magnificent and elaborately decorated it is. You then become struck with a peculiar smell, and your heartbeat begins to increase as a vision fills your mind's eye. Draw 3 cards to explain your vision. All right, here's our cards. Get Bridget out the way. All right, now this is our vision, okay? So first of all, I saw goddess Hecate. Now I'm very familiar with Hecate, so this tells me something ain't right. Hecate is somebody who comes along like with a powerful message. She don't come to play with you, and her message says to me that I'm about to travel through the darkness. Interesting. and that I need to keep my focus on my purpose and do not wander off my path. So immediately I know something is going to happen here that is going to try to knock me off my path, and Hecate is telling me don't let it happen. Card number 2, which was the rest of this this vision I'm having, is telling me whatever this is going to happen right now. So right now, today, in this mansion, something is getting ready to go down, and I'm going to need to make sure that I stay on my path. Then we have the third card. The third card is telling me that it's going to be adversity. So it's going to be something that's difficult. There might be some anger, there might be some shame, and I'm going to have to make a decision between these outcomes. So this already sounds suspect to me. This is a warning. This is a straight up warning. Now it says here, you regain your composure and you proceed to your rooms. And your guest is shown to their room that sits right across the hall from your own. You enjoy looking over your room at old pictures and beautiful draperies, and then proceed to lie down on the large, luxurious bed to see how comfortable it is. Alright, now it says turn the page. You stretch your arms out really big, taking in your surroundings, and then you hear a knock on the door. You answer the door, and your friend is standing outside with a bottle of wine and a big smile. You both decide to indulge in some wine, and you proceed to tell her about your vision. Well, the wine makes sense. Let's just drink some Moscato. And Bridget needs to be cheered up. So she's smiling already. She already had a couple glasses. And that's a good thing. Shortly after, there is another knock on the door, and a staff member ushers you and your guest to the main area, where you are all greeted by many other guests who seem oddly familiar, but you just cannot recall who they are. A couple of staff members appear and begin taking all guests on a tour of the house and lands and relaying the entire history of this enormous estate. Draw 3 cards or more to tell the history of this place. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the history of this mansion. The history would be in these right here. Alright. Yep, that's them. This mansion ain't too cool. I told y'all I've had a bad feeling about this mansion. The first card is telling us that some great injustice happened in this mansion. I knew it. I knew it. It was crimes against women that happened here. So I don't know if they're sacrificing these women, but they're doing something to women against their will. So me and Bridget are definitely not in a safe space. Bridget, we in danger, girl. We gotta get out of here. Okay, it says here there was injustice. There was a lot of it. There's lies here. It says there's mirrors here, smoke and mirrors. So this host and these people, we can't trust them. It says here we need to anticipate an attack of some kind. So this is not good. This is not good. This is the history of this place. Women have been attacked here. They've been, all kind of brutalizations have happened here. Like I said before, I think I'm seeing some type of sacrifices, possibly. All kinds of assaults going on here. People being hunted and chased through the house and through the wilderness. And as they're telling us these stories, they're making it seem like, oh, this was in the past. This is a very dark and grisly past. I don't trust this place. This might have been in the past, but I don't trust it now. So I'm telling Bridget. And then that second card right there in the center, that love card, that card is telling us that whoever these women were, they used love against them. So they probably had somebody like seduce them, basically. And these women thought they were going someplace to be loved and have some compassion, and they were taken advantage of. And the last card here is a boundary card. This card says that their boundaries were pushed past. So there was some real dark stuff that happened here. And people were, made to do things against their will. It says here some people were made to marry against their will. This is a place where a lot of people's their pride was taken, it says here. So it was all kinds of like it sounds like unholy type rituals I don't know nothing about. And it says that they're all related to magic and magical energy. So there is a lot of exploitation that is going on here. So I'm even further uneasy about us being here. Immediately after the tour, dinner is ready and waiting for all guests. They are shown to the massive formal dining area that is in the center of the mansion with no outside windows. The dining table is so long and opulent, filled with lots of decadent dishes and cutlery. All of the guests had assigned seats so that they would converse with people they had just met. The setting is dark and intimate, filled with tons of lit candles to illuminate the room in dancing shadows and a warm glow. The host is announced and appears from out of the dark shadows by the room's entrance, and sits at the head of the table, accompanied by his stunning wife at the other end of the table. There is something about these people that also seem eerily familiar, but also very unsettling. Who is this host, and why has he invited me here, I asked myself. So question 1, who is this host? Alright, check this out, right? Because this is really creepy. This is really creepy. The host is Samuel. Here we go. His name is Samuel Martyrs, and this is his wife. So check this out. Let me pull this closer to you. Alright, so Samuel is... Let me go to his page. I'm going to tell you exactly who he is. I was very surprised to find out about Samuel. Samuel was a friend of Aleister Crowley. He was actually, when we take a look at it, it says here that he founded the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. He was a ritual magician. And it says here that he was, into occults and ritual magic. Apparently, he actually joined the Masons in 1877. He published and translated many occult manuscripts. So this man is very, very well versed in the occult and doing magic and things along those lines. This lady here, Margareta, is his wife. And according to this, she was a young girl from Sweden who was plagued with visions. At first, the visions were good, though. They were angelic visions. But later on, these visions took on a sinister tone. And it says here that she was possessed by angels and demons. She was able to do miracles. She could tell the future. And then after a while, it said that the bishop came to visit her on 2 separate occasions. And the second time he came back, she had lost the ability of prophecy. So we're dealing with a man who's a magician and a wife who basically has powers and is often, I guess, possessed by different beings. So yeah, this place is quite the trip. So that's who our host is. And let me also tell you, let me move these over here, the next part. So the next part here, after we found out who the host is, it says, why does he seem familiar? So for those of you who have been going through this journey with me, know that I am a Sibyl. A Sibyl is a seer. I'm a clairvoyant, and I'm a clairvoyant in real life. That's how come I'm able to read and do, readings for people. So this is interesting. So because I am a Sibyl, they want to recruit me into their, they still have this little cult or this little coven, we usually call them. And they want to recruit me into this coven. Now, as somebody who's a Sibyl, who's a priestess, who's versed in magic, that's not unusual. But these people are dark, and I don't do dark things. So this ain't going to work. This is not going to work for me. So that's why this whole seems familiar to me, because I can feel his energy. It's it's a kind of energy. And as I'm getting these visions, as I'm coming closer to this place, I'm picking up on him, his wife's energy. Now it says, why do the other guests seem familiar? Well, because I'm a Sibyl, I am picking up on the other guests as well. And I got bad news for you. These other guests, they're a little questionable, okay? The one in the center, Peter. Peter was a serial killer. It says here that Peter Stump, a successful farmer who lived near the town of Bedburg in western Germany, was responsible for murdering at least 16 men, women, and children in the 1580s. From his youth, he was inclined towards evil, having begun practicing black magic at the age of 12. He completely rejected Christianity and embraced necromancy and sorcery, entering an incestuous relationship with his sister. So Peter is on the dark side of things, clearly. And these are the people that we having dinner with. Like, are you serious? Then over to the right of Peter is Helen Duncan. Helen was a Scottish trance medium who was able to materialize ectoplasm during her seances. In 1944, she was the last person tried under the 1735 Witchcraft Act. With the aid of her husband Henry, Helen performed seances for audiences all over Great Britain. She became a darling of the spiritualist community, which fervently believed in her abilities to communicate with the spirits of the dead. Further investigation revealed that this was simply cheesecloth, this ectoplasm, that had been swallowed, then regurgitated during the seance. She was arrested for fraud on 2 occasions and spent 9 months in prison. So we got a serial killer, a fraud, and let's see what our last person is. I'm getting out of here. Margaret Aiken was an accused Scottish witch who became a witch finder in the service of the government. When she was arrested on suspicion of being a witch, she avoided torture by quickly confessing that she had participated in many rituals to summon the devil and had made a pact with Satan. She said she had the ability to identify a witch by peering into their eyes. So they hired her, and she's lying. It says here she's a fraud. So they hired her, and she pointed out all these quote-unquote witches that were also innocent. Ain't that something? She finally was exposed and burned at the stake. So here I am with 2 frauds and a serial killer. Like, So my visions are right about these people. I'm in a very dark, negative place. Why has he invited me here? Well, it says here that he knows that I'm a Sybil, and he wants me to join him and these other characters in a coven. He wants to help me discipline myself, my magic, to a place where he wants it to be, whatever that may mean, and then have me join them in this coven. What has my inner vision told me? My inner vision has told me to disconnect from him in this place. From the very start, Hecate was warning me, all kind of stuff was going on. So my vision is telling me not to trust these people, not to join these people, ain't nothing happening. And the last question says, what is my next step? Right after I get this information, I get my shit and I leave. Me and Bridget is out. Do you hear me? We get our stuff and we get the fuck out of there, because these people is evil and they're crazy and they're going to try and sacrifice me and Bridget. So first chance we get, if we say no, they're going to try to get us. So the first chance we get, and not even first chance, as soon as I get this information, we get up and leave. We get up and leave, we grab our bags, and we get the hell out of there, and we never return. So, so that is my tarot adventure. I shouldn't have went in the first place. I knew it from the door, and I got the heck out of there. So if you would like to do your own tarot adventure, please play along and let us know what happened in your case. Thank you to Rochelle, my beautiful friend, for making this great adventure. And there's another one too. I'm gonna do the other one as well. I love these. These are awesome. And you guys come back soon, because I got a lot more to say. See you later.